Hello and welcome to Channels Book Club. I'm Olakunle Kasumo. It's great to have you on the show again. Thank you for all the feedback you sent to us through our social media platforms. We really appreciate them. Please keep them coming. Today we are going international, and an organization called Uniting to Combat NTDs, NTDs means neglected tropical diseases, has organized an international youth storytelling competition with contestants from all over the world, including Nigeria. And we've been part of that competition. I want to show you a report about it. And then when we come back, we will be talking to the 3 brilliant winners of the competition. Please stay tuned.
Neglected tropical diseases, NTDs, are 20 groups of diseases that affect over 1.7 billion people, especially those living in tropical areas around the world. The neglected diseases, which are common among the poor, have caused significant health, social and economic problems. This is why Uniting to Combat NTDs, in partnership with Youth Combating NTDs and supported by the Crown Prince Court of Abu Dhabi, launched a youth storytelling festival to combat the neglected tropical diseases through the power of storytelling. In the recently concluded storytelling competition that had over 400 entries across digital, video, spoken and written words from 39 countries around the world, 3 youth, a Rwandan and 2 Nigerians, emerged winners in the written category. Mbahafid Obed from Rwanda is a 20-year-old first-year creative design student at the University of Rwanda. His entry about intestinal worms is an expression of his deep sense of responsibility to tackle the challenge of NTDs. Joanna Eguda, a Nigerian, is a 23-year-old medical student who believes people shouldn't have to suffer from preventable diseases. Her entry on rabies was compelling and thought-provoking. Henry Inya is a 24-year-old 5th-year Nigerian student studying medicine and surgery at the University of Calabar. Inspired by the epidemiology and disease burden of neglected tropical diseases, his entry addresses elephantiasis, Borrelii ulcer, and leprosy. The success of the youth storytelling competition has been remarkable. Tagore Elfik Puli has coordinated the project. She is the director of the Uniting to Combat NTD Secretariat and has had over 20 years of experience in international development with expertise in government relations, partnership development and advocacy. Tagore, Obed, Joanna and Harry are our guests this week on Channels Book Club.
Doko, Joanna, Henry, Obed, it's great to have you on Channels Book Club. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. The pleasure is all ours.
Great.
Thank you.
Great to have you here. So let me first by saying congratulations to gentlemen and lady. I'm talking about the 3 contestants who won, Joanna, Henry, and Obed. Congrats.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Kunle. Thank you very much.
Great. And congrats to you, Toko, for a well-organized international storytelling competition.
Thank you so much. That's very kind. Thank you.
Great. Let me start with you, Toko. This is a very laudable project, and you've organized it at a very international dimension. Can you let us into the vision, the idea, the project?
Very happy to. This storytelling competition was organized in order to shine a light on neglected tropical diseases that affect 1.7 billion people on the planet. And working with our partner, Youth Combating NTDs, we had this idea of really harnessing the amazing voice of young people who are great storytellers. So on World NTD Day on the 30th of January, we invited young people around the world to enter this storytelling competition And we were absolutely blown away by the responses that we had from young people. And we're really thrilled to be here today celebrating some of the fine works that were submitted by young people, really lending their voice in ending the neglect of these diseases that have plagued humanity for absolutely centuries. So we're really happy to be here. Thank you, Channels, for hosting us.
Great. It's a pleasure. To put it in better context, we are talking about entries from about 40 different countries. Am I right?
Absolutely. We had eligible entries from 39 countries, over 400 young people. We had 400 eligible entries in total. So this was absolutely stunning, all entering in 4 categories that we had in audio, digital, video, and the literary works that we're here talking about this afternoon. And the response from the African continent was incredible. It was amazing. So although we had entries from other parts of the world as well, from Asia, from Europe, from the Americas, it was the response from the African continent and Nigeria particularly, which was absolutely incredible. So we were really, really blown away by the level of response that we got on storytelling, but not just storytelling itself, but storytelling and neglect tropical diseases. And to see young people responding and wanting to get involved in this otherwise neglected area was absolutely phenomenal.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well done. Obed, Johanna, and Henry, how do you feel being the winners of this competition? What was your experience like? Let me start with Obed, then follow up with Johanna, and then Henry. Obed.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Very, very clearly.
Yeah. On the first question about how did I feel after winning the competition, I was so excited. And I still thank God for that because anyone in the top 10 finalists was a candidate to the top prizes. But beyond the reward was a beauty of a dream come true to touch lives globally with averagely less effort. Simply, I was happy and thanks.
Well done. And you have made Rwanda very proud. Well done, Obed.
Yeah, thank you.
Joanna, particularly
Yeah.
that second part of my question, what was your experience like?
I first came across the flyer on my school group page and I got really excited because art to me is like one of the most important means of communication. And I knew it to carry more weight than probably any other form of communication. So I got really excited and I'm a writer, so I entered into the writing competition. It actually took me a number of days to figure out the disease to write on. So I had to focus on what was more popular, what occurred more in the area I was in, which was rabies, because there are a lot of street dogs. So I guess that was the process involved. And then I had to ask for translations too from my parents for the language part. So, yes.
Well done. You are from Nigeria, right?
Yes, I'm from Nigeria.
You've made Nigeria very
Kogi
proud.
State.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
Great,
you so much.
great, great. Henry, you are also from Nigeria.
Yeah.
How do you feel winning this competition?
Okay, it's quite difficult to describe the way I feel because I actually submitted my application at around 11:58, and the deadline was 11:59. So it was it was a mixture. When I came top 10, it was when I came up among the finalists. It was the feeling was quite difficult to describe. But so far, I've been so excited. I've been happy. My team also, my what we are building, our company has been excited. Everyone has just been too happy. So it's been a wonderful experience to see that, okay, what we did and what I did personally could get this far, especially the quality of the finalists, of the entries from the finalists. I went to the gallery, and it was the online gallery, and it was marvelous. It was beyond discussion. That we could come out among first third was just the feeling was just exciting. It was wonderful.
Great, fantastic, fantastic. Obed, let me get back to you, Obed, before I return to Thoko. Um, you live in Rwanda, you school in Rwanda. What are your thoughts about this battle against NTDs, neglected tropical diseases?
Yeah. Yeah, in Rwanda, we don't have more cases about NTDs, but intestinal worms is a problem here in children. Most of the children at high percentage contract intestinal worms. So that's why I have used children in my piece because my piece was entitled The Purpose of Children in Fighting Neglected Tropical Disease. I have experience of intestinal worms. So that's why I decided to use it in my piece.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, I will come back to you, Joanna and Henry, but let me quickly go back to Thoko. Um, Thoko, the panel of judges seems to be for this competition, seems to be very distinguished. Was there any particular criteria you used in picking the judges?
That's a really good question, Kunle, because the quality of the work that was submitted by young people really encouraged us to really think about the judges. We were so honored, first of all, by the level of the response, but also the quality of the works submitted, that we really couldn't make a decision on who would you pick out of those works. Henry just mentioned that he went to the gallery and was stunned by the quality of the works shortlisted. So we had to assemble an international judge or international panel of judges that could really do a good job based on the works and the categories of digital, visual, literary works. So if you look at one of the judges for the literary works, Her Excellency Sarah Agbo, who is a commissioner for education, science, technology, and innovation at the African Union, and is herself an established author and a juror on many literary panels. So we felt that we needed to assemble a panel of judges that really understood the art form, that could really make a thorough assessment of this work. And because the quality spoke for itself, we just didn't feel confident between Uniting to Combat NTDs and Youth Combating NTDs that we could sit there and judge the works. So it was really the quality that spoke for itself, and it required us to treat that quality with the respect and honor that it deserved by putting together an international panel. I think you would have seen we had judges from Japan, from the UK, from US, Zimbabwe, Mexico, Costa Rica, really global panel. And the reason we ended up with a global panel of judges as well was because of the number of entries that we received from Africa, but from Nigeria itself. And so we didn't want a situation where people would think we had stitched this up for Nigeria. So we had to bring in a panel that would make an informed and technical assessment of the work submitted so that there could be no inference of any bias towards a particular continent or a particular country.
I'm going to quickly ask you, Joanna and Henry, very briefly. Joanna, you wrote on rabies, if I'm correct. Yes, and then Henry, you wrote on elephantiasis. Yeah. So Henry, what inspired you writing on that particular topic?
Yes, elephantiasis has been very, very common since I was a child. Going to school, seeing people on the road with swollen legs, diseases that could be preventable. And it was painful that, that we could have solved these diseases, we could have treated these diseases, or we could have prevented something as common as this. And then people did not have the capacity, or we did not have the capacity to do that. And then the other part of my inspiration was the negligence, and then also there was issues around the bewitchment, ignorance about the diseases. It's caused by witches, witchcraft, and all of that. And it was just traumatizing to see people go through these conditions. And you met them on the road, you could see them on the road without family, and it was painful. It was just traumatizing. That was my inspiration.
Wow. Joanna, finally, very quick one for you. I don't know if this is your first writing experience or if you've had others before now, but what does the future hold for you in terms of writing? I know you are studying medicine and you'll soon become a doctor. Yeah, but in terms of writing, what's the future like for you?
Okay, for your first question, no, this is not my first time writing. I actually write fiction and things like that. But as for what the future holds, I really think I like this segment of writing, as in putting my voice to help in fighting this type of things, these diseases. So yes, this is what the future is going to hold for me. I'm going to put more effort into writing about these kind of things that matter, and in encouraging people to fight these diseases.
Well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're out of time now. I want to thank Thoko. Thank you all the way from the United Kingdom. Joanna and Henry in Nigeria.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And also Obed from Rwanda. Thank you very much for joining us all the way from Rwanda. Thoko, before I let you go, I'm sure there are thousands and thousands of young people out there who are wondering, is this going to continue next year? Should they be looking out for this storytelling competition next year?
Absolutely. Sharpen your pencils, get all your paint brushes and your skills, because we plan to run this competition on an annual basis. And if you didn't win this time, don't give up. If you haven't entered this competition, look out for it. We need your voice. 1.8 billion people out there who are potential champions. These are young people between the ages of 10 and 24 around the world with a really important voice and some really important things to say. So do look out for the competition next year. And we're really thrilled that we have a new generation of champions now picking up the mantle to fight these diseases. So I really want to thank Henry, Joanna and Obed here and congratulate them very much. And also those that didn't win but entered the competition, thank you so very much. And we look forward to working with you in this fight against NTDs.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on Channels Book Club. I wish we had more time to just go on and on and on and on, but this is where we have to end it. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Kunle. Thanks, Channels TV.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
It's amazing how brilliant young people are in Africa. It's really amazing, very impressive. It was a pleasure talking to those three winners. Up next is another young person who has fascinated us. Now, did you know that the famous Things Fall Apart was written by Chinua Achebe when he was just 28 years old? As great as that novel has become, as respected as it has become all over the world, Chinua wrote it when he was just 28 years old. And a lot of other writers have written great books when they were very young. Chimamanda Adichie's novel, Purple Hibiscus, was written when she was just 26 years old. And then The Swamp was written by Professor Wole Soyinka when he was just 22. Lion and the Jewel was written when he was just 25. So many examples like that. Now, this young lady that we have up next has written her own debut novel at the age of 17. I was amazed when I got to know that some days back, and I got a copy of her novel titled Hall of Fame. Now, let's get to meet her and enjoy her reading. Please stay tuned.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kotum Asha. I am a student at the African Leadership University studying social science, and I am also the author of The Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is about a group of students who are the head of the school and handle the prosecutor and lawyer part of the school. They are called the youth attorneys, and they handle injustices that happen within the school. They are the disciplinary community, and they are also the fellow students in the school. What inspired me to write the book is this congruent problems of injustice, rape, bullying that goes on in school nowadays, and I wanted to delve into it and show people the perspective from somebody who's also from a poor background and has to experience these things. Now I'm going to read chapter 5 of the book. Let us wrap up your statement one more time, Minita, Lizzie said to Minita. We lawyers were gathered in the Sahara classroom, getting ready for Minita's trial. On the day Tokpe's necklace was stolen, I was out with my friends to Refuge Reef. The necklace was stolen an hour after I got back, but I hadn't gone back to my room at the time it was stolen. I had slept in my boyfriend's room because he had just gifted me a beautiful necklace. Minita said as she was interrupted by Sean. Do you maybe think the necklace your boyfriend gave you was stolen? Sean asked Minita. My boyfriend couldn't afford an expensive necklace, so he got me a cheap one. Even the gold was rusted. Nevertheless, it was still beautiful, Minita said, smiling. I was sure that the thought of the memory must have brought that smile to her face. Then that crosses out the thought that your boyfriend stole it, I said to Minita. My question is, where is the necklace then? I asked no one in particular. My thoughts exactly. If Tokpe was indeed trying to frame her, she would have put it in one of her belongings or something. Lizzie said before realization finally dawned on us. As scary as it seemed, Tokpe was saying the truth. Her necklace was stolen, but by who? Minita and I were on our way to the courtroom. She was still a bit shaken up after Muna's interrogation. I came in during half of the interrogation to give her some moral support because she looked like she really needed it. Well, if it isn't the thief and her sidekick, Tokpe said, coming from behind us. She was with some boy who had his hands around her waist. I don't know if she was desperate, but honestly, she could do way better. Can we at least be civil until after the court case? I said to Tokpe as Minita just cowered in fear by my side. You don't tell us what to do, the boy said, straightening his stance in a way to intimidate us. Frankly, I wasn't talking to you, so mind your business, I said to him in a venomous tone. He's my boyfriend and a witness, so it is his business, Tokpe said, glaring at me. But I just stood there confused. How is this boy a witness to Minita stealing the necklace, when the necklace wasn't even found and there was no proof that Minita actually stole it? All this information was really hurting my brain sincerely. The hall where the trial would take place was magnificent. It looked straight out of a castle. It was designed like a chamber in the medieval times. The benches were carved nicely. The podium looked fit for a king. Everything looked so surreal and unique. And the only thing that wasn't similar to the medieval times were the outfits of the young people seated in the courtroom. Before I walked in, I was given the lawyer's robe. It was a black robe similar to graduation gowns. It was a bit heavy and it had gold stripes on the left and right wing of the robe. Your Honor, my client says she wasn't in the room at the time of the theft. Miss Holloway just heard the sound of talking and there is no evidence that it was Minita's voice, I said to the judge, who was also the engineering teacher. Your Honor, the defendant's voice is indeed here speaking while my client was making the voice message, and I would like to play the audio for the court, Muna said, and resumed to attach the phone to the sound system. The whole court exclaimed when they could indeed hear Minita speak at the background of the voice message. But you told me you weren't in the room at that time, I said to Minita. I'm telling the truth, I wasn't there, Minita said, trembling a bit in fear. Your Honor, this audio could have been recorded at any time my client was in the room. There is no proof that it was at the time my client got back from a night out, I said to the judge. Your Honor, I would like to bring forth a witness, Miss Holloway's boyfriend, Alex, Muna said to the judge. Alex walked up to the podium. Mr. Alex, at what time did you see Miss Minita exiting Miss Holloway's room with the necklace? Muna asked him. I saw her around 12:30 p.m.ish, Alex said. And how was she dressed? Muna asked. She dressed like she was coming back from a party. She wore black lacy lingerie with some very tight shorts. I can't really remember the rest of the clothes she wore. When I asked her what she was doing with the necklace, she told me it was hers, Alex said. Muna paused for a while before she spoke.
Well, I hope you had a good time watching that. As always, we'll be very delighted to get your feedback through any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. This is where we have to draw the curtain on the show today. My name is Olakunle Kasumo. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.